Richard, you're stepping into some pretty big shoes to fill. CZ was just this larger than life figure. I mean, he built an empire. He built a massive cryptocurrency exchange that blankets the globe. Like, I'm kind of considered by many in the industry to be just a hero for onboarding so many into the world of crypto and for building what he built. And you are filling that role. How does that feel? I would be intimidated, but that's why I'm a podcaster, not a CEO of a cryptocurrency exchange. I'm wondering just what your sentiments or emotions are as you stepped into the role, the very big the shoes that CZ has left.
I think first of all, no one can replace CZ, and that's my view, right? I'm not here to replace CZ. No one. I mean, he is very unique. I mean, he's a global leader. He's a visionary. He brought about Binance in 2017, and he grew it from zero to the company that we are today, right? So I don't think anybody can replace him. I think we have to be our own person. I mean, he has built such a strong foundation for us to continue that very mandate. And our mission is to support the freedom of money, is to support our users globally. And also Binance in the first 6.5 years is quite different from the Binance going forward because there are few things that have changed in the landscape, right? Firstly, there's clearer regulations today compared to the past. Direction of travel is quite clear. Compliance is something that everybody is looking at. The global regulators, users are looking at. So it's quite different. As a company, it's also different, right? So he started off with a core team of 7, grew to 30, and then a few hundred, and then a few thousand. So it's totally different company. So, but today Binance is a company of thousands, right? So managing this company require a very talented team of core managers, which we have put in place now. So it's not one person driving it. To me, it's a team effort that's driving it now. Also, the corporate structure has changed, right? So CZ used to be the CEO and decision maker. But today, we have put in place a board of directors of 7, right? So you understand that once you have board of directors, we as a management and I as CEO, together with my team, we are accountable to the board for corporate decisions, right? And they are the corporate steward. They set the direction of the company, and we will execute, and then we will change the execution direction depending on the needs of the landscape and what is evolving in the marketplace. But crypto evolves very quickly day to day, as you know, right? It is evolving and innovating so quickly. So we are on our toes on a daily basis, making sure that we are ahead of the game, making sure that we know what's happening in the market, we are developing the right thing, we're enhancing our products and services, enhancing the features to serve our users, complying with what the regulators want, working with partners globally, including the likes of MasterCard that you might have seen. So we are doing multiple things at the same time, but it's not an individual effort, right? So it's a team effort. We have very talented senior leaders. We have very committed mid-tier managers, and also very hardcore junior officers within the firm, all believing in this mission, all having the same values of being hardcore, humble, trying to add value, protecting our users.
I'm wondering what your perspective is on whatever company always goes in the direction of whoever's at the helm. And so how familiar you are with CZ and like the way that CZ thinks, I think will answers the question of like, is Binance going in the same direction that CZ would have led it? Or maybe that was never really the intention in the first place. Maybe CZ with his board of directors and advisors identified a North Star for Binance that was independent of CZ. And you were also going in that same direction. I'm wondering if you can just like, familiarize us with how familiar you were with like CZ's direction, or whether or not CZ was actually kind of working more collaboratively with the rest of the company to define a North Star for the whole company.
I worked with CZ quite closely for 2.5 years, right? So he started after Singapore, he started to ask me to take care of Middle East, North Africa region, which I'm familiar with. So I took over as the regional head for that particular region. And that pie started to grow to include Europe, and then Asia Pacific, and then rest of the world. So I work very closely with him, as the rest of the leaders do, right? Work very closely with CZ. So, but a lot of his thinking are set into the mission, values, and DNA of the company, right? So many in the company knows, and he defined a lot of these things. And all these are positive attributes, right? So at any point in time, when we make a decision, CZ was very clear, right? So does this benefit the user? Does this protect the users, right? So those are his guiding principle when making decision. And those became the guiding principle for us, for all of us in Binance. Does this protect the user? Is it beneficial for the user? Is it beneficial to the market? If it is, we will do so, right? If it doesn't, no, right? So many of these decisions are, in our view, not difficult to make because we always try to make sure that users are protected, things are beneficial to users. For example, something very simple that started way back in 2017, 2018, right? So, coins get lost when users transfer wrongly, right, to wrong addresses. And it happens all the time. And it may not be intended for our wallets or their wallets with Binance. But we took effort to try to trace back those and then pass back to users. And that was unheard of way back then. So that is a demonstration of how far we go to safeguard users' interests. We were the first to came up with a SAFU fund, right, to protect users in case there's anything untoward in terms of cyber attacks or cyber security. And so you can see the psyche of the organization is one that let's place user interest first to make sure that we treat the users right, and then they'll treat us right, which is why we have such a strong community globally, right? People believe in us. So this trust is not built over 6 months or 1 year. It's built consistently through our action over the course of 7 years, right, till now. And we will continue to make sure that we maintain that confidence and trust of our users.
So this is, you're saying this is part of the DNA that CZ has left in Binance and how Binance has followed through on that. What about Richard's DNA? What DNA will you add to the Binance organization now that you're at the helm?
Well, I think I'm standing on a shoulder of giant. I'm building off what the giant has built, but we will need to continue to pivot towards being a regulated entity globally, right? So we spend a lot of time, effort on that front, working with global regulators. And you see that in terms of things like corporate structure, it has moved from when CZ stepped down to what we have today in terms of having a board of directors, having the different subcommittees within directors in a form and format that regulators are much more familiar with, right? So we'll continue to gravitate towards that because that's the direction in which this industry is growing. And we need to move with the times. We need to move with the times in terms of what our users want. So what the users want today will be quite different from last year. So we have rolled out things like tri-party arrangement with some of our corporate clients and with financial institutions, right? Retail investors, Web3 wallet was a new innovation from us. This is something that they wanted, enhancing our copy trading feature, allowing them to do mock trading as well. So these are things that we will continue to make sure that we innovate on that front. So again, is continue to pivot towards being a fully regulated global financial institutions, making sure that we build a very robust enterprise that's sustainable, that's going to go from strength to strength for the next 50 years, not only built for the last 7 years. So these are things that we are working on tirelessly on a daily basis.
A 50-year vision is pretty impressive, and I can't wait to see where crypto is.
It should be 50 years and beyond, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that would make all of us like pretty old men by that time, but ready to pass the torch to the next.
Around by then.
Just just on a personal note, while we were talking about CZ, I was just kind of like wondering, how's he doing? Like, when's the last time you talked to him? What's his mental state?
I talked to him about after the sentencing, right? CZ is an extremely strong individual, right? And I mean, if you know him, he's an extremely down to earth, extremely humble person, very personable, very charming. But he also is a very calm person under any circumstances, right? So he has a very strong state of mind. I think that we have been through a lot. You mentioned several episodes in the last few years, right? But what you know are only public events. There are a lot of things happening that on a day-to-day basis. But he has always a very, very calm demeanor. He makes decisions in an extremely logical fashion. And he took it full responsibility for it, full accountability for it. We all respect him for that on that front. So he's looking forward to it and serving and exiting that.
I know
So
he
we are
is.
looking forward to
He's
his return.
yeah, I know he's left crypto, and is serving this sentence. I for one would love to have him back on Bankless just for kind of like a crypto exit interview. When he's done with that, it's got to be just a surreal experience for him.
If you enjoyed all of that, then you'll absolutely love the Bankless newsletter. Join over 300,000 fellow readers, all for free. Click below to sign up.